Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is it's another prime example of the Democratic Party lying, because all that they do is lie. And they said that this is not what's happening, right? They said this is what's not going on, but in all reality, it is. So we have this here where Jose Ceballos was charged because he's an illegal immigrant. He's not even supposed to be here, and he's not even a citizen. And he was elected mayor, and now he's being charged for this because for election fraud. So it ain't looking too great here for Jose Ceballos. And Democrats and the far left have always said this has not been going on. So without further ado, here's the clip.
Good afternoon. We are tracking breaking news at this hour. The mayor of Coldwater accused of election fraud. The charges come hours after he secured a second term in office. Attorney General Kris Kobach charged Mayor Jose Ceballos with 6 felonies, 3 counts each of voting without being qualified and election perjury. Kobach claims Ceballos is lawfully living in the U.S. but is a citizen of Mexico, making him ineligible to vote. The AG alleges the mayor illegally cast ballots in the August 2024 primary and November 2022 and 2023 general elections.
In large part, our system right now is based on trust. Trust that when the person signed the registration or signs the poll books saying that he's a qualified elector or that he is a United States citizen, that the person is telling the truth.
We reached out to Mayor Ceballos for comment, but have not heard back yet. The Coldwater City Council, though, released a statement on social media saying the mayor called them in for a special meeting over the noon hour to, quote, discuss recent events that have
So how does this happen exactly? How do we get here to where we have an illegal citizen, a non-citizen, be able to become mayor of our cities? Well, it's quite simple. Democrats have been allowing these people to come into our country and vote because you don't need to show proof of citizenship, and you don't need to have like an actual license or speak English for to get a CDL or any of these other things for that matter, because you're just let in. Democrats have been lying to you and saying that this is not happening, but this is in fact that it does. And they also will use very hateful and racist rhetoric, or rather saying that like black people can't get driver licenses or can't get an ID or something, to say like, oh, well, this is an issue. Well, guess what? This is what happens when you do not have an ID and you're not a citizen. This is what happens. You get these illegals coming in here. Now, Donald Trump has been trying to fight this, but the problem with that is that you have judges trying to block these measures of Trump trying to fight this and allowing it to happen. And this is the result of this. So if you really want to blame somebody, blame the Democratic judges, the far left judges, and blame the Democrats for allowing this to happen. Because again, Democrats were the ones that were saying that this was not happening, but it is happening. And this is the actual clip here of quite honestly saying that the judge blocking Donald Trump's measure to prevent this type of stuff from happening.
That President Trump's request to add a documentary proof of citizenship requirement to the federal voter registration form cannot be enforced. U.S. District Judge Colleen Kohler-Cotelli in Washington, D.C. sided with Democratic and civil rights groups that sued the Trump administration over his executive order he issued back in March that included requiring documentary proof of citizenship to register to vote in federal elections, and that all ballots be received by Election Day. She ruled that the proof of citizenship directive is an unconstitutional violation of the separation of powers, as the administration has argued that such a mandate is necessary to restore public confidence that only Americans are voting in U.S. elections. The judge also said that on matters related to setting qualifications for voting and regulating federal election procedures, quote, the Constitution assigns no direct role to the president in either domain. Kohler-Cotelli echoed comments she made when she granted a preliminary injunction over the issue. The ruling grants the plaintiffs a partial summary judgment that prohibits the proof of citizenship requirement from going into effect. It says the U.S. Election Assistance Commission, which has been considering adding the requirement to the federal voter form, is permanently barred from taking action to do so. Now, we did hear from the White House on all of this. They disagreed with the judge's ruling in a statement late yesterday, and we do have a quote here From Abigail Jackson, a White House spokesperson, saying, quote, President Trump has exercised his lawful authority to ensure only American citizens are casting ballots in American elections. This is so common sense that only the Democrat Party would file a lawsuit against it. We expect to be vindicated by a higher court. The U.S. House passed a citizenship mandate last spring that has stalled in the Senate, and several attempts to pass similar legislation in the states have proved equally difficult. The lawsuit brought by the DNC and various civil rights groups will continue to play out to allow the judge to consider other challenges to Trump's order. That includes a requirement that all mail ballots be received rather than just postmarked by Election Day. Other lawsuits against President Trump's election executive order are still ongoing. In early April, 19...
So, yeah. And this is part of the reasons why Trump wants to remove the filibuster, because the filibuster will eliminate the ability for Democrats to have full control over this. He can put in judges that he wants, and this can eliminate this whole entire problem. But until he can remove the filibuster, this is not what's going on. The Democrats don't want this to happen because the Democrats know that this will be detrimental to them. And this is something that the Republicans refuse to have the balls to do to try to fix this situation. And it is what it is. And we need to have these things happen. Now, what there is here is more of this with the election fraud case and what's going on. So without further ado, here we go.
Facing criminal election charges. Today, Attorney General Kris Kobach announced his office filed election fraud charges against the mayor of Coldwater. That mayor was just reelected. Now the city is saying he'll have to prove his citizenship to stay in office next year. Our own Sophia Jernander reports.
On Tuesday, November 4th, Coldwater's city elections went as planned, and their mayor, Jose Ceballos, was reelected. But with the following morning came some shocking news. Kris Kobach had filed charges against Ceballos for voter fraud.
It's not something I ever expected to happen.
Britt Leonards is Coldwater's city council president. She says they found out around noon on Tuesday from Ceballos, who told them he has been accused of voting multiple times despite not being a U.S. citizen.
He's a hard worker. Whenever it comes to volunteering to do anything, he steps right up to the plate.
Coldwater's city attorney tells us,
I want you guys to see exactly what this is. You know what this woman is doing here? She's playing this emotional BS game. So I am sick and tired of this. So ladies, just again, this is going to hurt me, but for my female viewership, just get rid of the 19th Amendment, because you guys need to learn to not be voting on emotion or get the hell out. Because otherwise, this is the issue. She is saying like, oh, well, she's this person. Everybody cared about him, like emotional type of. I don't care about the emotional crap. I care whether this guy came in illegally or he came legally. That's what I care about. And if he came in this country illegally and he's committing crimes and he's committing voter fraud, I don't care how nice this guy is. Get him out and remove him. But of course, these women, all they do is try to play the emotional manipulation game, and enough of it. This is what causes our country to go into decay. When we care too much about emotion, it causes problems. Now, obviously, you got to have some kind of emotion, because you have to use some type of emotion to have some type of emotion to, like, okay, feel bad for some people in regards, but again, this does not lead to prosperous things. The emotion thing is what's hurting and destroying this country.
Ceballos is a green card holder, but when he wanted to make his citizenship permanent, that raised some flags.
He applied for citizenship in February. That raised the issue of whether he was a legal voter.
Ceballos has been told he can finish out the 2 remaining months in his term. Unless Ceballos' citizenship is approved during that time, Leonards will take over. She says this news will be hard on the town.
It's going to end up sending some waves through the community.
But she says the community has been supportive of Ceballos.
As a mayor, he has done a wonderful job. As a city council member, he's done a wonderful job. He's always put our community first in everything that he does.
Again, Ceballos still has 2 months left of his original term as mayor, but the city says that after that point, his future remains uncertain. In Coldwater, Sophia Jernander, 12 News.
Yeah, so there you have it. There you have it. We have an illegal immigrant, a person that's a non-citizen in our elections, and what have you. And of course, Democrats have said this is not going on here. Now, what I want to do is show you guys exactly what I mean by this, because if we go here, what is the big thing that you guys notice? And I'll move my image over here just so you guys can see a bit better. What do you guys notice here? So you only see the Attorney General talking about this. You see Yahoo, you see Kansas Star, KNBC, but where's the big media social outlets? What are they doing? Are they talking about this? No. Look, you go on page 2, nobody is talking about this. Even Fox News, silent on the matter. So that being said, this is the reason why we don't use we don't use these social media outlets and other things on this platform a lot. So you have from Fox News here, but you got to go into like page 1 all the way at the bottom. It's almost like Google is not like showing you the real thing here, which is what's wild. But again, you're not having CNN or other news outlets talk about this or report on this at all. You can keep on going down, and none of this is going to come on here. And you have to go very deep, far in to even find this, which I had to do. So again, this is from a person that has 132 views, which, by the way, is unfortunate because this person should have more for showing the actual video of what's been going on. But again, that being said, this is the problem that we have. The Democrats allow this to happen. The Democrats says, you don't need voter ID. You don't need to have this or that. And then now you get this where you get an illegal person that comes in that's not even supposed to be running for mayor. So, and he gets election fraud. So, bad insert to worse, he was not voted once, but twice in until we end up finding out he was mayor. So how many other places across the country is this happening in? Like California, for example, which I'm almost for certain that it's happening in California. So, this is a big deal here, guys, and we got to start thinking out what's going on and start removing these people, because I think it's a lot worse than people are letting on. And Democrats are, of course, silent on this as always, so it ain't looking good. Again, Democrats lying about what's truly going on in our country. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, take care, my friends.